Quitman lies in the heart of South Georgia. In South Georgia, high school football often trumps college football, such is the case here at Brooks County High School. The Trojans were expected to compete for a conference title and possibly a state championship, but all that changed on one fateful day in July.
Bobby Christian, I'm a senior. I've been on the team 4 years. Well, we wake up, come to the school, do our agility, come in the weight room, lift weights, go in the gym, run some more, go outside and run. After we get done over here, we break it down, and we head over to the other field where we practice at.
July 9th is our anniversary, so that was our 8th anniversary.
My name is Maurice Freeman. I'm the head football coach here at Brooks County. This is actually my 10th year being the head coach here. I was here in the early 90s, left and went to Southwest Macon, Northeast Macon, Brunswick High School, and I've been back for 6 years. July 9th, my anniversary. My wife and I had prepared to go to Atlanta to spend a week there to celebrate our anniversary. She had come to work she had a new job, CTA director. So she was coming to work to iron out a few things before she got out of town. I only came because she was going to be here, and I was just going to pop in on the guys saying, aha, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I just dropped by. But they were working so hard and so well that I decided to stay.
When he initially called me to tell me what happened, I did not have my phone with me. I have a habit of laying it down. He fusses at me about that all the time. And so I had been out and about, and I came back in and I saw that he had called me several times. And I cannot remember if he called me back or if I called him back. But either way, when I called him, when I finally talked to him, I could tell in his voice that something was wrong.
The 3 young men that I lost, the great thing about it, I said something to all 3 of them that morning in the weight room. I run my own weight room. Not that I don't trust anybody, but I want you to be physically and mentally tough, and I'm going to get most of it out of the weight room. So, that's what I do. So I came, I said, Coach, man, let me run the weight room today. I know I told you could, but, man, I'm having a good time. Let me do it. And Johnny, which is the youngest out of the 3, was just starting to learn the game of football and enjoy it. He would have been a junior. And that morning, he's working out. His body looked great, man. 6'2", 205, runs 4.6 40. So it's a great-looking kid that was finally understanding what I wanted out of him. Sean was kind of like the dad of the group. He would do exactly what you asked him to do all the time. We did not expect him to be caught wrong or out of place or lagging. He was just the right kind of guy. And Jakari was a prankster. He was going to do something. He was loud and he was happy-go-lucky. He was going to aggravate you if you didn't talk to him. He was going to talk to you. He was going to force you to talk to him. So they were all 3 characters. Jakari was offered by Troy State same day that we lost him. They called same day. Sean was looking at Mercer, very intelligent young man. So you just combine the 3 of them. That's 3 kids that we really expected to be great. And it was time for us to leave. And so Jakari and a couple other guys said, Coach, we're going to go around the bus because the rule is follow the bus. But the kids were leaning on the bus and said, Coach, we're going to go around. We're ready to go. So I said, well, go ahead. Let's go. Go ahead. We'll go around the bus and I'll follow y'all over there. So we all passed the bus, went up the hill, went down the hill, and saw a lot of traffic. Didn't know what it was, but I saw a lot of traffic. So when I first saw all the car doors open, I said, man, these jokers saw a snake or somebody hit a deer, which this is deer country around here. And so I got out of my truck fussing, man, get in the truck, get back in the car, let's go, we got to practice. And as I was walking and fussing, I looked at my quarterback, which is my leader. He's one of the leaders, and he's the one that I saw. So I said, Malcolm, stop playing and get in the car. And then you could hear him, Coach! It was just some pain. And, I know my guys' voices. I know their habits. So when I heard that voice, I was like, man, what's going on? And I'm walking by this tree. It has this huge black bag wrapped around the tree. Don't really pay any attention. This is an agricultural area. So, grow cotton and things like that. So they got these huge bags that you have to wrap cotton and things of that nature with. So I didn't pay it much attention. But as I got closer to Malcolm, maybe 30 yards from him, he turned, and when he turned, I saw a tire iron start to pull up. The tire iron was impaled in one of my players. And so I was like, what? And then I looked back at the tree. I was like, oh God, this is an automobile. I said, whose truck is this? And Malcolm said, this is Jakari, coach. So I took a deep breath. Oh, man. And I walked over to the tree, which I was about 10 yards from the tree anyway. I walked over to the tree, and it was wrapped around the tree. The front bumper and the back bumper were just about touching.
Well, at my age, I thought I'd never have to go through nothing like that.
I knew that he could lead them because they believed in him more than anything, and I knew that he was capable of leading them. He's strong, and he's a natural leader. People have a tendency to want to follow him, and the boys want to follow him. They want to please him. They want to do what he expects for them to do. So I felt like if he believed that they could make it, that they would believe that they could make it and be successful.
Just, you know, I had a high school coach, Jeff Caldwell, I thought was the craziest man in the world. I didn't like him at all. Never liked him. He was just as mean to me as he could be. But when he left and went to another school to take a head coaching job, I knew I was missing something. He really pushed me and made me work hard. And he act like he didn't care about my feelings. He just cared about my production. But we were at a state track meet my senior year, and he shows up, and I'm second place, and he gets on my butt. And I was glad to see him. He said, man, you're not doing anything. I said, Coach, you are absolutely right. And from that point on, I understood constructive criticism, and I understood from him what open up a can means. You got to work, or what do you expect? So from that moment on, man, that's all I know. You're gonna work. You're not gonna make excuses, and you're gonna be the best you can be. You know, it may be some better, there'll be some worse, but the ones that are better, we're looking for you. We want to be better than you. So that is what has allowed me to be a good coach, a good person, a good citizen. And the things I learned in Florida A&M. You know, Coach Hubbard was dear to my heart. I got a chance to meet Coach Gaither and talk with him a little bit, but Coach Hubbard was my man. He was the guy that I adored. Coach Hubbard, Coach Bogan, Godfather. Those folks there, man, they really did a good job of making me to be a man and forcing me to work and not accepting anything. I remember getting in trouble at Florida and throwing eggs on Halloween. And they didn't recognize anybody except for this bow-legged guy. And Coach Hubbard said they know it's a football player and he's bow-legged, so I think it's you. And I dropped my head. I said, Coach, it was me. He said, and they said about 10 people with you. I said, well, Coach, I don't know who else was with me. I'll take my punishment. And man, he beat me down. But at the end of it, he said, you know, I really respect what you did. You didn't lie about it, and you went at it and you did what I asked you to do. You're the right kind of guy. And just him telling me that I was the right kind of guy certainly meant a lot to me. And I've always wanted to be the right kind of guy for my mom, for my family, for my sisters, for my Uncle Dudley, for my school system. So that's what you do, you work. And then by the end, the fire truck shows up, ambulance shows up, a lot of commotion. So I tell my coaches, I say, hey man, get these kids in these cars and get them to the school. There's nothing they can do here. They're crying, screaming, hollering, in a lot of pain. So get them out. So they got them out. Ambulance gets Devron. He gets life flighted out of here to Gainesville. And my fire chief shows up. And he says, Coach, you got to get to the school. There's nothing you can do here. I said, man, these are my boys. I got to take care of my boys. He says, Coach, you got about 55 other boys. He said, these three right here, it's not looking good. So there's nothing you can do. And, you know, I hope they know the Lord. But you get your butt onto that school and take care of the rest of your boys. And I said, my truck is back then. He said, don't worry about that. I'll get you out of here. So we talked with the young men for a little while, got them calm, settled down. And then the coroner shows up with the official word, and he tells me, and I got to tell the guys.
He just did his job as a coach and just led us in the right direction and just made us stay up as a team.
We've got some ministers talking. And then And then it's my turn to talk. And I said, listen, we're going to pray and we're going to work. And I said, guys, hey, I'm here. I'm going to work. If you want to finish this season, we can finish it. If you feel so bad that you can't play football because of this, then I won't coach either. But regardless of what we do, I'm going to be with you. So we need to decide right now. Everybody that wants to play this season, and I mean you're going to play your heart out, step across the line. Everybody steps across. Everybody wants to practice Monday. I'll give you a couple of days off. Everybody wants to practice Monday, step back across here. And y'all step back across. I said, now everybody's man enough to go through this, answer questions and get some grief counseling, and just be tough about it. Step back across this line again. Every player, every coach, every manager, step back across.
We got to finish the season for the three guys, Sean, Johnny, and Jakar.
One of my assistant coaches, Coach Mitchell, which has been here 27, 28 years, this is the only job this dude has ever had. So he came up with the BC3. BC is always our symbol on our helmets, but he just added the three guys that died. So we all adopted it and went along with it.
Well, we go to the site every game, even if it's a away game. We still go to the site before we get on the road. Well, it's just a time that we can spend with them before the game and pray with them and let them know that we still fighting for them and playing for them. So it's something we did all season.
Just everyone at that point in time was looking for him to lead them through that situation. So beyond a doubt, I know it was our faith in God and the family, friends, and loved ones who were able to see us through that situation or help us get through that.
I've got great memories of Sean, Jakari, and Johnny. I've got great memories of this year. You know, the great things that we've done. We've been behind a few games and toughed it out. We've had memorials. We've had other high schools that said, "Coach, we want to do something for y'all." Send us flowers, things before the game. You know, Thomasville, Cook County, Fitzgerald. Those are three teams that are in our region that we do battle with every year. They're tough games. They showed up for the car washes. They showed up to help bag groceries, to raise money for the foundation that we have for these three young men. And that was awful noble of them. Calhoun, which I don't like them at all, man. They beat me 3 or 4 times. They sent me some flowers. You know, so I take my hat off to them. That was awful noble. You didn't have to do anything, but they thought about us, as in a lot of communities did around the place. So I had to go to Worth County to speak, and I talked about it. It's about 800 kids in that school, and you couldn't hear a pin drop. They were listening. Afterwards, they came and talked to me about it and said, "Coach, thank you for the message that you gave." So this year was extremely successful. Successful because we were 12-2. Successful because we made it through after we lost 3 of our troopers. Successful because we decided we work hard. Successful because the community continued to come to games, continued to love on us. We continued to love on them. And successful because those parents attended every game. And I had football players that wanted to wear their jerseys every week. And I carried them as much as I could, those jerseys. And we prayed about them. We visited that tree every Friday. We'd go visit that tree. I go by there every day to look. And sometimes I go by there to see if those boys are there. I miss them. I needed them. I wanted them. I'm selfish, man. I'm selfish. I just didn't think it was fair. But that's just part of life. And I wanted them on this team because I felt like we could have won it with them. I replaced them with a 150-pound inside linebacker. And a kid that had never played football before just shows up and says, "Coach, man, I'm sorry. What happened? I'll play if you want me to." So they replaced them with those guys there. So we did a great job. But I still wanted those boys. I still miss them today. Man, You know, I look out that window every morning, look at Sean, say, man, I'm gonna go to work. You know, I pass by that tree every day. Say, boys, I wish y'all were here. I'm sorry that you didn't slow down or that this happened. You know, I need you. I want you here with me. You're my boys. You know, but you know, the Lord has His answers. I'll ask Him when I see Him. I'm hoping to be that way. I'm hoping I'm going that way. So I'll ask Him when I see Him, and hopefully I'll get the answers that'll satisfy me. Until then, I'll just do the best I can.